What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel and yet another pregnancy update. This week we are covering weeks 12 through 14, which means I am finally in my second trimester, and I know at this point it's probably going to start feeling like it is flying by. Please excuse the mess behind me as well as my appearance. Not only am I extremely exhausted today, but I'm trying to take care of a whole bunch of cleaning and decluttering of all of our closet space just to try to find a way to get us better organized so that I can start making room for baby clothes and baby equipment and things like that, since we are kind of in a tight space and God only knows when we're going to be moving. Let's move right along. Once again, I am late recording this video. It's been a very busy week. I think around Thursday or Friday of last week I started to get really sick. I guess the pollen around here was really high, and I'm not one to really suffer from allergies, but this time it hit me really hard, which might be a pregnancy thing. I don't know if you're more sensitive to airborne allergies or anything like that when you're pregnant, but I just had a horrible sinus headache, sinus pressure. I asked my midwife if there was anything that I could take, and I googled it, and I ended up taking just one dose of Benadryl when it was at its absolute worst, and then I just took Tylenol when I needed more of that. Luckily, my husband Dylan was off on Sunday, so I basically slept the entire day, but that kind of put me off track. And then my dad's birthday was actually on Wednesday, and he passed away, and so on his birthday I tried to make it a point to go visit him at the cemetery, and so I stopped with my grandma at the store to get some flowers and a balloon and things like that, and I ended up spending the day with my grandmother, and that was the day that I hadn't intended to film. So here I am filming on a Friday once again. I apologize for being late, but this time I am officially 14 weeks and 3 days pregnant, and according to my pregnancy app, the baby is about the size of a navel orange. I'm not feeling any bigger this week, and I haven't really felt any more movement. I know that I mentioned that in my last video that I was feeling some twitching. I haven't really felt it anymore, but I have been extra busy and other symptoms have been at the forefront, so maybe I just haven't noticed it that much. But let's go ahead and get into symptoms. I'm going to try my best to zoom through everything and not make this a super long video. I'm going to get repetitive once again and mention my nausea. I had really thought that it started to get better, and I even stopped taking the Unisom combination at night, I think for about 4 to 5 days. Without taking that medication at night, the nausea was really manageable. I maybe only felt nauseous like once or twice throughout the day, so I was praising God, really thinking that that phase of my pregnancy was finally going to be over. I wasn't going to be unlucky and continue to feel it. But then all of a sudden, closer and closer to when I actually hit 14 weeks, which you would think I would officially be in the clear, it came back. I think one day it was so awful that I literally I think I threw up like 3 times in one day, and so I ended up taking the Unisom and B6 at night, and then I had a whole great day after that. I didn't take it last night. I've been a little bit nauseous today, but I have not needed to actually go throw up, so I don't know where I'm at with the nausea. It seems to just be coming in waves at this point. I hate to be so repetitive about it, but today I'm okay. This morning I was nauseous. I didn't take the combination last night. We'll see how the rest of the day goes and the rest of this pregnancy. One thing that has been extreme over the past couple of weeks is my fatigue. Fatigue is one of those things that shouldn't be as bad in your second trimester. It's really a first trimester type of thing, but I'm feeling it hardcore right now. I don't know if you can tell in my appearance or in my voice, but I am so tired right now. I almost ended up not filming today because I didn't feel like putting on any makeup. I clearly didn't do my hair. I'm trying to push through it today because I have a lot that I want to get done. I've been wanting to sleep all day. It's been really hard for me to get up in the morning. So far with Aubrey, we've stuck to a pretty strict schedule of when I wake her up in the morning, when I put her down for a nap. It's just easier to have toddlers on a schedule, but I've lately been letting her sleep in as long as she wants because, you know, an extra 30 minutes here or there really doesn't affect her too much, but it seems to help me a lot because I'm struggling with the fatigue. It's really high. Like I mentioned at our first appointment with the midwife, she checked all of my blood work and it doesn't look like I'm anemic or anything, so I feel like this is still pretty much normal pregnancy fatigue. But at this point in my pregnancy with Aubrey, this had already faded away. I think I only experienced fatigue maybe like a week when it was like really hardcore, but this is just another level of tired. It constantly kind of feels like I took a sleep aid. I don't know, I'm really tired. I wish I could just take a nap right now, but I really wanted to get this video filmed. Kind of a not new symptom, but one that's really prominent this time within the last couple of weeks is the hip pain and like the stretching feeling. So like the round ligament pain, which is basically just completely centered around the uterus growing bigger and requiring more space. And so it kind of just feels like a pulling sensation around your hips and lower abdomen area, and you can sort of feel a sharp pain if you stand up or kind of turn over or move too quickly. And I'm feeling a lot of that almost every time I stand up, every time I sneeze, and every time I like crack up laughing at something, which Dylan has me laughing all the time. I'm not complaining, but I'm starting to feel those sharp pains, and that's completely familiar to me. I had it when I was pregnant with Aubrey as well, and it is completely normal, especially now that the uterus is officially moving up and out of the pubic bone. My headaches are on a whole nother level. They are officially full-blown migraines. I get one at least every single day, but the severity will change. So far today, knock on wood, I don't have one at all, which is a miracle. But I think on Tuesday, after having that whole weekend of feeling sick, Tuesday, I kind of woke up and I was still feeling really tired because, you know, feeling sick, whether you're pregnant or not, kind of takes a lot out of you. It takes a while to kind of get back into the groove of things and get all of your energy back. So Tuesday, I was still feeling really tired. I was really nauseous that day. That's kind of when the nausea started to come back. I laid Aubrey down for her normal nap time, and I sat down on the couch. That's usually my, like, break time, and that's just kind of my time to like binge watch any of my favorite shows, eat lunch, so that I don't have to share my food with Aubrey. So I was just literally relaxing on the couch. Nothing was really going on, and then all of a sudden it literally felt like somebody sucker punched me in the side of the head. It was the worst onset of a migraine that I have ever experienced before, and it literally like knocked me over. I was sitting up on the couch, I felt the pain, and immediately needed to lay down. It actually really scared me because of how hard my head was pounding, and I could like feel it going along with my pulse. I guess they call it a thunderclap migraine, thunderclap headache, because of how suddenly it hits you. And it stayed with me for the rest of the day. It was hurting so bad that I was completely debilitated. I was laying on the couch. I had a cold washcloth on me. I took 2 extra strength Tylenol with a glass of Coke, because sometimes that combination helps get rid of the headache, or at least alleviate it. It didn't help me at all this time. I was feeling it in the back of my neck, and it was making me extremely nauseous. So I was already kind of feeling that way in the morning, but this actually was making me get up and go throw up. I had nothing left in my system. So I actually asked Dylan if he was able to leave work early to come home and help me, because I really felt like I needed to go to the emergency room. And we actually ended up doing that, but we were there for about 2.5 hours, and I still had yet to be seen. There were just emergencies after emergencies coming into the ER, pushing me farther and farther back. And at that point, it was getting so late at night that I was more worried about coming home and getting Aubrey into bed. I didn't want her having to stay up too late, so I didn't end up getting seen, but I am going to tell my midwife about it, of course, and I'm just going to ask her, because I know that headaches are a normal, you know, symptom of pregnancy, but I also know that depending on the severity, it could be a red flag for something more serious, which is why I ended up going to the ER, because of how bad it was hurting. I was really worried about my blood pressure, but incidentally, my blood pressure was fine. That was the only thing that they ended up checking while I was there, and it was normal. So I don't know if this is just going to have to be something that I have to deal with. Hopefully not. We'll see. But it was, in the moment, it was really scary. The breast pain, of course, is another symptom that I have been so super repetitive about, and I apologize for that. Along with the nausea, that seemed to get a lot better, and I was like, thank God, because of how uncomfortable they were getting. So I probably had about 4 or 5 days, again, off, basically, from any sort of breast pain or discomfort, but it's back. You know, that's all I have to say about that. It's the same as it was before, the same as it always has been. Very uncomfortable when I'm sleeping. If I stay in one position for too long and I have to readjust, it literally feels like they are full of milk, and I think that's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Everything is pretty much just the same. I haven't really talked about my craving too much, except for I think maybe my first or second pregnancy update. They are basically the same. I'm still craving a lot of protein, still a lot of spicy foods, but I haven't really eaten too much because they do obviously give me heartburn immediately after, and then I'm suffering, and then that makes me even more nauseous. So I try not to eat spicy food too often, but I'm still craving a lot of meat. I'm not really craving any sweets at all. I have had sweets, but when I was pregnant with Aubrey, that's all I wanted, like ice cream and root beer floats. And we really indulged, let me tell you. Like, I gave into every single craving I had with Aubrey, but this time I'm not really craving any sweets. It's just mostly like salty and savory and like pickles and salt and vinegar type things. But I'm also starting to crave milk, like regular cow's milk. I literally will drink a glass in the morning. Sometimes I'll have it with cereal, sometimes I'll have it at night. Like, I'm having it all the time. And I remember when I was pregnant with Aubrey, I also had this symptom to a point where my midwife told me, my midwife at the time, which is not the same midwife that I have now, she told me that I needed to slow down or switch to almond milk instead of cow's milk, or else I was going to end up having a 10-pound baby. Needless to say, I kept drinking as much milk as I wanted, and Aubrey was only 6.5 pounds. So I took it with a grain of salt. But milk is a new craving, along with the protein and the spicy food. As much as I wish I was like vegan and I wasn't drinking milk at all, because I don't think it's good for you. I don't know, I can't help it. That's what the baby wants, it's not me. So insomnia is another thing that I'm struggling with. I'm really having trouble sleeping. I'm tossing and turning constantly at night. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I am able to like fall asleep really easily, obviously because my fatigue is so high, and I think I get like 1 or 2 hours of solid sleep. Then I just, for whatever reason, I start waking up and tossing and turning. I am having really, really vivid, weird dreams, not necessarily nightmares, but they're not happy, pleasant dreams. That is probably contributing to why my fatigue is also so extreme, is because I'm barely getting any sleep at night. But that's been pretty difficult, and I'm pretty cranky, I'm not gonna lie. Another new symptom that I have heard other people have, but I've heard it more often like earlier in the first trimester than I'm having more now, especially within the last couple of weeks, is an extreme thirst and very, very dry mouth. I thought that dry mouth and extreme thirst was kind of associated with anemia, but like I said, as far as my blood work shows, I'm not anemic at all. But I have been feeling extreme thirst, and especially in the morning, my mouth is extremely dry. It didn't help that I was having all of those sinus issues last weekend because, of course, because I couldn't breathe through my nose, I was just straight up sleeping with my mouth open. But other than that, like even right now, I've been drinking water all day out of my good old Mac Daddy water bottle over here, but my mouth has still been really, really dry, and I feel like no matter what I'm drinking, I can't really quench my thirst. So I'm gonna mention that to my midwife just in case that means something else, but I'm not really worried about it at this point. I believe that that is the last thing I wanted to mention in this video as far as my symptoms were concerned. I did want to thank you guys once again for being very patient with me, as I have still yet to come to a consistent recording and editing and uploading schedule. I have it written down in my planner that I would actually like to start uploading a video every week, but still have my pregnancy updates be bi-weekly for the duration of my pregnancy. I've got a few ideas of videos I want to do on the opposite weeks, just of random things. I'm currently editing a very, very long Clean With Me video. Those are actually my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, aside from pregnancy updates from other moms, but I'm hoping to get that uploaded next week, and I'm really gonna try to have my upload days actually be on Wednesdays. Since my weeks change on Tuesdays, I'm going to try my hardest to have Wednesdays be my new upload days, considering nothing knocks me down like a freaking sinus infection or extreme fatigue or whatever the case may be. So keep an eye out for a video next week. I'm hoping I can stick to my word and upload that Clean With Me video, and I've got a lot of other really fun ideas that I would like to start recording in the meantime. But before you go, please, please, please give this video a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'm getting more and more views on all of my videos, which is amazing, and it makes me so freaking happy that more and more people are watching my videos, but there are way more views than I have subscribers, and I would really love to start connecting with people. That's kind of why I started this channel in the first place, is just because I wanted to sort of build a community. So if you're watching this video, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you found me, who you are, what your name is, what type of videos that you like to see aside from my pregnancy updates, and I hope that we can connect from now on. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next update. Bye!